of the UCPS, Palamur University. I congratulate the university officials, organizers, and my compliments to my good friend, Principal Dr. Prabhakar Reddy Vera Reddy, for organizing such a wonderful webinar and helping the young teachers and budding pharmacists in updating their knowledge, particularly during this COVID-19 pandemic period. I am quite impressed with the way when the introduction was given. The university officials has taken it a challenge and organizing using this digital platform for the benefit of the students. My compliments to the university officials also in this regard. It is my honor, it is my privilege, it is my pleasure to inaugurate this webinar series, that is from today, this webinar series. Before giving my inaugural address, I just brief about the Indian Pharmaceutical Association, which is also associated with this webinar series. IPA was established in the year 1939, before our independence. So we have 80 years of history to Indian Pharmaceutical Association. IPA was established in Calcutta by Raj Bahadur B.N. Vyas. He is the first president of IPA. I am the 36th president of IPA. IPA is a national professional body of pharmacists engaged in various facets of profession of pharmacy. IPA is committed to promote highest ethical and professional standards of pharmacy. IPA sensitizes the government and other organizations on various vital professional issues. IPA, we have 21 state branches and more than 60 local branches and 100 student chapters throughout the length and breadth of our nation. IPA organizes national electrocution competition and national quiz for the benefit of students to bring the hidden talent from the students with a good prize money. And also IPA, we are funding 40 poor and needy students throughout India by way of scholarship, 25,000 rupees per year per student. This is on behalf of IPA Ramanbhai Patel Scholarship. Around 40 lakhs worth of scholarship we are giving to the poor and needy students every year. And more than this, IPA recognizes the R&D activities by offering a Best Innovation Award, that is in association with IPA ACG, that is Associated Capsules Group. 2 lakh prize money was announced for Best Innovation Award and Best Package Award every year. And also IPA honors experts from the field of industry who are excelling in their area. In the year December 2009, during the Chennai IPC, we honored 2 eminent personalities from industry. One is Bharat Biotech, Dr. Krishna Ella. Another one is Jaides Cadila, Dr. Pankaj Patel. If you take the present scenario, these two are the pioneers and coming out with a vaccine for the sake of mankind. IPA honored these two towering personalities last year, that is in December, not even 6 months back, with the industry excellence year of the 2019. And I am proud to say Bharat Biotech is a front runner in coming out with the vaccine, Covaxin, for this COVID-19. That too, it hails from state of Telangana, the pharmacy hub of the world, that is Hyderabad. And IPA, with the help of the Students Forum and state branches and local branches, organized several activities throughout India. We have organized webinars and workshops in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, and all major cities and rural areas, and Alwar recently. And we are also organizing training programs to the working pharmacists. With the help of IPA Community Pharmacy Division, we organized a training session for the pharmacists that more than 10,000 registered pharmacists were trained by IPA online. And also with the help of Hospital Pharmacy Division, we trained more than 5,000 registered pharmacists, hospital pharmacists during this COVID-19 pandemic. And if you take the workforce involved in combating this COVID-19, everybody is appreciating the efforts of doctors, efforts of healthcare workers, paramedical staff, nurses, and other technicians. But nobody is recognizing the services rendered by the pharmacists. If you take hardly, there are 6 lakh doctors are working in this COVID-19, and around 10 lakhs nurses are working during this COVID-19. Forget the police officials and the sanitizer workers and all, as a technical personals. But I can proudly say more than 12 lakhs pharmacists are working during this COVID-19 period. More than 8 lakh registered pharmacists and more than 2 lakh pharmacists working in industry, more than 50,000 pharmacists working in hospitals, more than totally 12 lakhs. So I am very happy, at least Nitin Gadkari, the Minister for MSME, has recognized the services of pharmacists and has sent a note of appreciation. And with this vaccine, I feel, I hope even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi will recognize the services rendered by the pharmacy and pharmacy fraternity. Coming to this COVID-19 pandemic, rightly pointed out during the introduction, brought lot many changes in everyone's life and in every sector. These unprecedented changes were most in academic. If you see all these area, the worst affected area is academy. If you see, there was a relaxation, bit of relaxation for other sectors, but there was no relaxation for education sector. And we were not knowing when the colleges will reopen, when the exams for the final years will be done. It is all uncertain now. That's why I say it is the worst affected area is academia. During this situation, earlier we used to hear work from home. That is the tagline of the software people. Now work from home is going to become tagline for every academician now. And if you observe, there was a transition from didactic teaching to digital teaching. If you take the teaching methodologies, there was a transition. And also, I was delighted to see our teachers across India transformed themselves with jet speed, though they were not trained with the digital platform. If you see, most of our teachers were not trained on digital platform. They trained themselves, acquainted themselves, and organizing these webinars and all. That was the excellent contribution of the teachers, I can proudly say. The teachers now are converting the digital teaching resources, whatever available with them, into digital platform and keeping the students busy. That's how the rate of transmission to the student community is less when compared with the other areas, because the contribution of the teachers made every student right from the school, LKG to right from schooling to professional courses, they kept the students busy. And I proudly say, productivity from the academia is the highest during this COVID-19 pandemic. Academia, the productivity is the today's webinar series. I have gone through the program and seen the topics, quite interesting, and happy to see renowned personalities, both from India and abroad, giving their consent to share their expertise and knowledge with the young teachers and budding pharmacists. And topics like, I compliment the organizers for choosing such a wonderful topic, the need of the day, impact of COVID on pharma marketing, COVID-19 therapeutic applications internationally, pharmaceutical education and research industry applications, generic drug development, clinical prospectus, biotechnology of drug products, engineering of 3D genomics, R&D, CAD, computer-aided drug design, bioavailability implications, research and methodology and art of writing paper. Wonderful topics were chosen during this webinar series. And also on behalf of organizers and on behalf of IPA, I thank the speakers, international and national speakers, particularly Mr. Dr. Abdul Bari, Dr. Mallikarjun, Dr. Rajesh, and Siddhi Veeresham, Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti, Mr. Niranjan, Mr. Harish Chandra, Dr. Masudan Reddy, T. Sachinarayana, Professor Girija, Dr. Upender, Dr. Dilip, and Mr. Haider Ali. I thank all these resource persons for coming forward and want to share their expertise with the pharmacy students and teachers during this COVID-19 pandemic. The pharma industry, if you take, everybody say we are lagging behind the developed countries and all. The first pharma industry in the world started in the year 1815. Became in England. The first pharma industry in India was started in 1839. Within 20 years of the establishment of the first industry in the world, we started, that is Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Limited. Initially, we used to manufacture naphthalene ball and phenols only, hospital products. Now it was taken over by the government of West Bengal, and it is manufacturers of hydroxychloroquine, which is the initial drug of choice for the COVID-19 now. So we are not lagging behind. We are lagging behind the R&D. We are lagging behind the initial investment. So up to 1960s, 70s, we were import dependent industry. We used to import the drugs from the developed countries, and they used to sell the drugs for 3 folds more than what they manufacture. Then in 1970s, we have Indian industry started with 100 crore, the industry. Now it has developed to nearly $50 billion and become number 3 in the world. Imagine the import dependent industry in 1960s, within 50 years of span of time, we are export industry to more than 150 countries. That is the strength of our Indian nation. So wherever we go, when we say we are from India, the pharma experts from developed countries used to say, India, oh, pharmacy of the world. That was the title given to our Indian pharma industry. Thanks to our pharma industry personnel for their hard work and achievement in this regard. If you take the statistical data, we are number 3 in the world in terms of volume and number 12 in terms of value. It doesn't mean that we are manufacturing a substandard drugs. We are manufacturing a drugs of quality with affordable cost to the common man in our country. That is due to price regulation. We are supplying the drugs at affordable cost to the common man. If you see the statistical data, already told we are supplying to more than 150 countries. If you take the 40% of generic drugs supplied in the United States of America are manufactured in India. 25% of drugs used in the United Kingdom are manufactured in Indian by Indian pharmaceutical industry. 80% of the drugs used for HIV, antiretroviral drugs, are manufactured in India. Thanks to NATCO, again they are pioneers in this HIV drugs and supplying to more than 100 countries. And more than 60% of vaccines used worldwide are manufactured in India. Again, thanks to the contribution of Santa Biotech and Bharat Biotech from Hyderabad for proving that we are number 1 in the production of vaccine. Yesterday, I have seen the interview of Krishna Yella. He proudly said India is the only country having a BSL-3 facility for manufacturing of the vaccine. That BSL-3 means biosafety. Worldwide, no company in China or US or anywhere, they don't have the facility more than BSL-1 or 2. But we are the only company in the world having BSL-3 facility. From that company only, this Covaxin is coming into the market shortly. Presently, the Indian industry is doing a business worth of $33 billion and expected to touch $55 billion by 2021 with a compounded annual growth rate of 12.5 to 15%. And this is the strength of our Indian industry. Lot many jobs are available. Lot many opportunities are available for the pharma professionals. Particularly, we were recognized during this COVID-19 pandemic. So the students and the budding pharmacists, no need to feel bad. The pharmacy, we don't have the opportunity. We are lagging behind the opportunity. One simple example I will tell you. When I attended the FIP World Congress in Glasgow in 2017 and Abu Dhabi in 2018, the WHO and FIP has released a statement stating that by 2025, by the end of year 2025, there is a requirement of 30 million workforce to the world. See, 30 million workforce is requirement is there. And also they have released a statement. They have released, there is no health care without workforce. And there is no workforce without education. That's how the education is proved vital. So jobs are available, plenty of jobs are available and going to come. And we are going to recognize it as a healthcare professional and competent healthcare professional. So feel proud that you are pursuing one of the best program and the jobs are available. And coming to the revolutionary changes in industry, what are the changes? I told you India, it is in the top 3. If you come to the revolutionary changes, there are total 4 revolutions in our life, right from beginning. Not in our life, in human life. The first revolution has taken place in the year 1765 with the invention of steam engine. That was the first revolution. And the second revolution was taken place in the year 1870 with a way of inventing the electric power. That was the revolution, second revolution. And the third revolution was there in the year 1969 with the invention of the electronics. That's how we are using all these digital platform and all. It is called nothing but the third revolution. And the present fourth revolution, digitalization. That is what we are going to see, all these digitalized activities. This is the fourth revolution. The fourth revolution brought exponential changes in the way we live, in the way we work. This digitalization, we organized one wonderful workshop during the Pharma Times Conclave. Digitization and digitalization. There was a confusion to our pharmacy friends. Digitization is nothing but converting the analog into digital platform. Digitalization is using this digital platform for the effective usage. That's what. New technologies, these are all called new technologies, are what really promise a positive future for drug discovery and development in our country. The industry is shifting more towards digitalized area and shifting towards personalized area and shifting towards customized area. Down the line, after 10 years or after 5 years or 10 years, the revolutionary development going to take place is personalized medicine, customized medicines, bio body sensors, and all this. No one drug fits all. That was the slogan given by the, again, WHO. The tablet The medicine is going to be delivered based on your gene structure and gene mapping in future. One drug of 500 mg, one drug, it may not be fit into other person also. The drug is going to change, the dosage is going to change as per the individualized medicine. That's what called customized medicine and personalized medicine. And the current latest innovative technologies used by industry, they are using the technologies, and we should update because these are not covered in our syllabus and curriculum. The regulatory bodies have their own restrictions. They are not updating the syllabus to suit the needs of the current needs of the industry, because the industry technology is changing at a tremendous pace. It is very difficult to catch up with the pace. Only thing is, by way of attending this type of webinars and attending the seminars, interacting with the experts from industry, the teachers and students will be updating their knowledge. If you take the expert predicted the future latest technologies, reverse innovation, nanoparticles, already it started in our country and showing and penetrating in several areas. Personalized medicine, 3D printing, artificial intelligence and cognitive computers. Already this AI is adopted in many industries in inventory control, and also they are using this for clinical trials. Body sensors, the patient is going to be implanted with the body chips. The moment he walks into a medical shop or meet a pharmacist, the entire data will be coming from the sensors, which will be transformed to the healthcare professional, where you will advise the patient for the medication. That is what going to happen in future. These are the advancements. All these changes in pharma taking us to tell tomorrow medicines with today's technology. That's what the industry expert says. So let us acquaint ourselves with the latest development taking place. Let us listen from the experts what is happening in the industry and where we have to update ourselves, equip ourselves, and get ready to meet the needs of the industry. And finally, I will say only one word, the great words of in APJ Abdul Kalam. Technology is an important tool to give fast health care. We have to use it. Technology is an important tool to give fast health care. We have to use it. That were the words used by His Excellency Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So with this few words of introduction, I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity, particularly Dr. Prabhakar Reddy, Principal of University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Palamuri University. And I wish this 1 week webinar series 2020 is going to be highly successful and useful to the young teachers and budding pharmacists. And once again, I compliment the university and the organizers for organizing such type of webinar during this COVID-19 pandemic and contributing yourself for the benefit of the students and staff. I wish these deliberations and topics in this conference going to be useful to the students. My best wishes to the organizers, and all the best to all the participants. I thank the university for giving me the opportunity to inaugurate this webinar